And Josh Grant, we've seen some hole shots from them, and we'll see what happens. And there are some local boys that may have some special talents here, but let's watch and see if this long starting straight is a problem for Stewart.
James Bubba Stewart, the two-stroke machine in a world of four strokes, looks to his side. And it looks like it's Josh Grant again with a hole shot in 2004. This rookie has been unbelievable on the starts.
He has. What a scary start straight. You get going so fast. And oh, look at Grant jumping across the ruts. This is something you're really going to have to watch for today. You got to get in your lines, and you got to stick them. Once you're in one spot, you got to drive through that rut. If you start popping out of it, you're going to high side. Anything can happen. The other thing about this track, it's known as the Supercross track of outdoor nationals. There are big jumps all over the place.
But you're going backwards. Nonetheless, you're still going to see ruts as Ryan Mills from New York out in front. Here comes Josh Grant trying to stick a wheel in. This kid does not know how to back down.
He's not afraid to stick it in on anybody. And there's their teammate right behind him, 35, Chris Gosler. So it's a all Amsoil, Chaparral, Factory Connection top three. And
they're loving it.
Kudos to those guys building great bikes, hearing a lot of good things about them. And they're all looking good and working hard. Remember, it's going to be slippery in some sections. It's going to be real tacky in others. And the roost still does hurt. You see those guys working different lines. Josh Grant jumping way out.
The mogul section as they're making their way through right there. Josh Grant trying to work that outside. And had his foot pulled off at the peg. This is early on the first lap of the race, and already the ruts are huge.
And you see different lines. Josh Grant, look at him boosting the triple. And OJ, a little over jump there. He just grabbed too much throttle, but he saved it. But these two guys got problems. Look at the rider in black coming in Darth Vader style.
And he puts the R in rhythm section right there. James Stewart starting to work his way, swings wide of the Hondas and jumps over that double section. Perfect rhythm, and he's working on Ryan Mills now. James Stewart.
Oh, look at that. Josh Grant.
Had to deal with Grant first, though.
We talked about the ruts. And what happens, you get into a rut, you set and pick. But if you got too much speed, and it looked like he just couldn't get on the binders, he tried to scrub speed on the jump before, maybe didn't get on the brakes soon enough, he pops out. But James Stewart is smart and cagey, just grabs the brakes himself, lets Josh have the problems, and sneaks right on by into second place.
Ryan Mills leading James Bubba Stewart. Josh Grant in third. I'm also noticing a Suzuki moving into the picture. Looks like Brock Hepler up inside the top five now, and Stewart dives to the inside. I don't know if he can do the Bubba scrub there or not. But
how vicious was that rail? He just set the tires right in that little rut and just held it on and just buzzed right by.
Little Goose Chris Gosler back in fourth position as Stewart now is in the lead. Let's see if he can stretch away. Yeah, that was unbelievable how he railed around that berm. I mean, he had a little bit of a hump as well, and there's that real rutty section.
You can see the ruts, you see the bikes kind of flying off, front wheel to the right a little bit. When we talked about getting cross-ride, how is the air time back there? You talk about getting cross-ride, what we're saying is, let's take a look back at Josh Grant. He just gives it a whole bunch and jumps over this. Look at the neck snap. He's going to have a little bit of whiplash going into Moto 2.
What do you say, youthful exuberance? My buddy Denny Stevenson always talks about the young guys. He was trying to jump his way into first. It actually cost him right there. And you see, he's just getting swapped out.
See the scrub I'm talking about there? And he just looked like he never got his foot right back to the brakes where he wanted before he had to set up for the berm. Pops over. Now he's a youngster. We're going to give him some credit. He got a hole shot. He's been on the podium. And this guy's been on the podium a few times.
Do you think that's a case where Josh Grant looks at James Stewart doing that and says, I can do this, but it takes a little time to develop the Bubba scrub?
Definitely. About 6 or 7 seconds already by James Stewart. You talked about Brock Hepler coming in. He's moving up right past Chris Gosler, who's had some knocks on him. And they say, it's just conditioning, but he looks great, like he's in great shape, but keeps going backwards just a bit. And it looks like Matt Walker also coming into the picture, the new toned-down conservative Matt Walker.
Yeah, I want to see that one. I have yet to see Matt Walker ever toned down. As we look at the race for second, James Stewart is pulling away. Mills and Grant going at it. These are two teammates that are not backing down from each other.
Well, no team order is on winning, so the only team order probably is don't knock each other down or take each other out of the race. And this is a great team. They really work together really strongly. And right now, Jamie Little's with Ryan's mechanic.
You guys have been getting good starts this year, but he starts to fade. So far, he's holding on pretty good.
Yeah, he's got good starts. He's looking good. Hopefully, he can hold on and finish on the podium.
You think it helps him and motivates him when it's a teammate running behind him?
Hopefully. So hopefully he can stay in front and grab him and get him on the podium.
all about the team, Cameron. They want to stay up top. As we take a look at our running order, we'll be back to Troy in just a moment. I'm Robbie Floyd with Cameron Steele. And as the field sorts themselves out, it is the rookie Josh Grant ahead of Ryan Mills, 2 and 3 positions respectively.
And this is a tough section. Lots of big jumps and some options in here. And you see Brock Hepler still sneaking into the screen. And you really got to watch yourself on these ruts, especially in the faces of the jumps. If you get cross-rutted, you start flying sideways, and you have some ruts in the landing, it can spell disaster, and that's one of the keys here. Really just picking your lines and being smooth with the line you've picked. And
not too smooth is Brock Hepler going down.
Not sure what happened there. We didn't see it, but, you know, Brock is tangled up in some banners there, and the one bad thing about crashing on the 4-stroke, if it goes to sleep and stops running, when it's hot, it can be a little tough to start, especially if you're all amped up and trying to make it go. And he's pointing at the front. Yeah, that's a banner in the front tire.
Can I get a little help there? I've got something caught in my disc. I have no idea what it is. I'm thinking it's the banners you just took with you. Look way up at the top of the screen. I think he makes a little contact with a hay bale.
Yes. Oh, and it looks like maybe getting one of those ruts just the wrong way sucked him off the side of the track. And there's mechanic Lee McCullum watching on, and, you know, he's a former mechanic at Travis Pastrana, so, you know, he's accustomed to some different things. He's given the P26. That means, hey, you're in 26th place.
You need to work your way back up. Lee knows what he's doing, trying to incite some enthusiasm back in the youngster. And, yeah, he did get thrown very far forward. He knew he was about to hit that bale, and he paid the consequences. So Brock Hepler has some work set ahead of him.
And it looks like he's coming up on Turbo Reef. Flying, just launching it out there. You saw the other riders around him not able to do that jump, and Brock just set it on fire. And his mechanic Lee dubbed him the Iceman, so we'll see how much ice he's running through his veins as he tries to make his way up through the pack.
Exactly right. We'll see how cool he is, because you heard Matt Walker mention earlier he was going to try and ride smoother and more relaxed. We're not seeing that out of Brock Hepler right now. And Walker, on the other hand, is up front.
And here we have the battle for 5th. This is Ivan Tedesco, your Supercross champion. So you'd expect him to be really in the mix here at an outdoor national that they dub a Supercross. Look at the ruts. You see Davey Millsaps, that's the yellow bike, the 188, trying to get up behind Ivan Tedesco.
And his teammate just in front of him, Matt Walker. So we do have battles raging throughout. Another rookie, Davey Millsaps, the highly touted Suzuki superstar, trying to work on the 125 West Coast champion, Ivan Tedesco, on that Pro Circuit Kawasaki. And Tedesco's been doing this a while. You know he has a little pride in himself. He wants to hold off the kid on the Suzuki.
Definitely, and Millsaps, a lot of people were just really touting him so highly. You saw Tedesco come out of that corner a little bit slow. Wonder if something's going on there. But it took Millsaps a little bit of time to get into the rhythm of these outdoor nationals, and once he found his groove, he's been really working it. Unfortunately, at the last race, not able to finish one of the motos, and that really hurts him in the points, puts him outside of the top 10.
What do you think about Millsaps? He had so much pressure on him going in. Does he still have that same pressure? You talk to him all the time.
I really think that he does have the pressure. I mean, you know, it's a big commitment from his family, the training facilities, and here we're looking at the battle for 3rd place. Mills is trying to work it and stay ahead of Walker, but, you know, the best thing he's done is close to home in New York at Unadilla, 8th overall.
Yeah, a very familiar track. As we take a look at Josh Grant right now working his way through that rhythm section. Mills has Walker in his back pocket. It's good to see Matt Walker healthy again and riding up to his potential.
Well, he's one of my favorite characters on there. Look at these guys, 2 different lines. Let's see which way pays off. You saw Mills go to the outside, Walker trying to work it inside and to single out into the flats there. There's a lot of jumping into the flats going on out here, and you watch the rise, like right there, Walker just totally jumped over the landing. What he's trying to do is carry more speed instead of downsiding the jump.
And as the race develops, those flats will become humps themselves, and they'll turn those flats into doubles.
They will, and it has a tendency to hurt if you catch it just the wrong way and go over the handlebars. Let's see what Jamie Little has for us.
I know the good news is Matt got his crash out of the way early in practice. How's he feeling right now?
He's feeling good. You know, he's been working really hard. We got the bike going good and got a pretty good start. I think he can do it if he stays on 2 wheels.
But his body feels all right after his get off with the trash cans?
Yeah, after the get off, he was all right, but the bike was wreck, but he's all right.
Bent forks, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, wrecked the forks, muffler system, subframe. He did a good one. Okay.
So that big practice track crash, obviously not affecting him right now. He's trying to work his way into third spot all over Ryan Mills. There he goes on the inside. He scrubs just a little bit. He's set up. Does he push him wide? He doesn't have to. Mills lets him go.
Just comes in and takes the line, but you saw working the section before, he had a better line where he actually got to do a little bit different jump section there. So Walker being smart. He's been around for a while, and the guy that's been smart and been around a while. You talked about Kenworthy's not being run last year, but 2 years ago in his rookie season, James Stewart was the winner here in the 125 class, en route to a 125 championship.
It only has one loss on the year. That race at Redbud pulled off the track. And speaking of riders off the track, Brandon Jessamine Bandit is off. Bike is smoking. What the heck happened with Brandon?
Man, tough break. If this guy could catch any good luck, it would be a miracle. The kid from PA has just been having oh, that's a radiator hose.
It's smoking for a reason. There's no water in it. It's all been dumped out.
That line not connected. Look at these guys airing it out for fourth place.
Mills trying to hold off a very hard-charging Ivan Tedesco. Tedesco rails that outside. One thing about Kenworthy is that, yeah, they might be running it backwards. You're landing on flats. This is a great course. You're seeing multiple lines. Whenever you see multiple lines, that is great for passing.
It is, and the riders actually talked about how it was kind of tough to get around people, and I think it's just because you got to set the lines so differently, but there are multiple lines, as you say, Robbie, really good point. You can look to the outside, to the inside, maybe inside, outside on a couple places, but remember, you got to stick in those ruts, cross-rut those jumps. We saw that it took Brock Hepler out. Let's see, this is where Matt Walker got by.
And you would think you would learn from when Matt Walker got by him. Ivan Tedesco does the exact same thing on Ryan Mills. And starting to drop back is Mills after a great start, but it's still James Bubba Stewart out in front.
Hi, I'm Rick Johnson, the riding coach for Team Suzuki, and this is your Suzuki Riding Tip of the Week. Here at Troy, Ohio, it's a lot like an outdoor supercross, so some of the riders will be doing seat hops, and that's what we're going to look at today. A rider will come around the corner, get set up for the jump, stay seated as he accelerates off the face of the jump. This does two things. One, it gives the rider more time to focus on traction and acceleration, and two, it fools the shock into thinking that the rider is heavier than he is, which it rebounds harder and gets the rider up and over the jump. Now let's take a look at this in real time. And that's your Suzuki Riding Tip of the Week.
Thanks a lot, RJ, a.k.a. seat hop, seat bounce, whatever it takes, just get over the jump. We're at the AMA Chevrolet U.S. Motocross Championships from Kenworthy's in Troy, Ohio, and James Bubba Stewart is working his way through lap traffic.
And unfortunately, that's Tucker Hibbert. He's a former gold medalist at the Winter X Games on the sleds, and I know Summer X Games right around the corner. Going to be seeing some Super Moto out there, and should be pretty exciting. Unfortunately, James Stewart won't be racing there, but some of his compadres in the 250 class will be out there doing battle.
Yeah, that will be a great race. Another guy who's done Supermoto is Ryan Hughes, who you're looking at right now. Had some difficulties at the last stop. In the first moto in Unadilla, he was fourth, but then suffered in the second moto with Nathan Ramsey.
Yeah, and the race before that, he pulled out because he had a dislocated toe, and we know he's been trying to slim down, cut a little bit of weight so he's a little bit more effective on the 125, because he's one of only 2 or 3 bikes out there that are racing against all these 4-strokes.
Another situation, does Ryan Hughes know where he's going next year, and will they have a 4-stroke for him, because it looks like he really kind of needs it.
Yeah, and I keep hearing the KTM thing for him, and he's one of the riders.
Great
air time.
Great googly moogly, did you see the air he just got?
James Stewart not afraid to launch it. We know about his Supercross prowess, so working this Kenworthy's track over to his liking, and I think he could probably hold on to the moto win here.
Yeah, he can do all right. I mean, it's good to see James Stewart is playing it conservative, you know, making all the downsides. I think he turned a triple into a quad right there. He had so much air.
And one thing to point out, the race is never over until it's over, and especially here where we have different conditions. You have some slippery areas like you saw right there. We have some deep ruts. Anybody can catch a rut, a peg, go over the bars, high-sided. Anything can happen at any time.
James Stewart putting on a clinic right now. There's how you do a tear-off, but you notice he's landing on the downside of some of those jumps with his leg out, preparing himself for that next corner, waiting the outside peg. He's doing everything right. Go ahead and tape the show, ladies and gentlemen, because he is putting on a clinic.
Man, you see, just trying to make it smooth. I think that's Matthew Lelou's going by. I know he had some problems with his knee in practice, so it looks like he's not completely attacking aboard that Moto XXX bike and maybe just trying to play it safe and get to the finish.
We want to remind you that they are running the track here at Kenworthy's backwards. As you're looking at James Stewart, it is a different track than they are used to. These guys have been doing the same thing for so many years, but now it's changed up. Jamie's down with J-Bone, Jeremy Albrecht, Bubba's mechanic.
Hey, Jeremy, is there any place on this track that's a challenge for James?
It's a good question. It doesn't seem like it. Everything seems to be fine. He's a lot of big jumps. He seems to be riding good, though. He had a really good day yesterday, and seems to be good today.
Just another day, another win.
Yeah, pretty comfortable right now. Everything feels good.
Oh, hum, I think I'll have a sandwich, a snack back here in the pits. Just a normal day at the office for J-Bone.
Yeah, and I know J-Bone's got his own event, Surfercross, coming up in California during the break after Washougal. A lot of the top riders will be there, and you know, we'll be covering here on the show, show you how the motocrossers surf and how the surfers motocross.
Well, I've heard it's ugly on the motocross to surfer side. Is Josh Grant looking for his best finish of the year?
He definitely is. He could go. If he goes second here, he's got a shot at his second overall. He's still got a shot at first overall. Remember, motocross is combining two motos. So that's the overall. His best overall is a third place. So he's on a roll right now. We'll see if he can keep it together.
Sits in second as we look at his teammate Ryan Mills, who had a great hole shot and has worked his way through the pack. Unfortunately for him, it's backward. Here comes factory Honda pilot Nathan Ramsey, and he's starting to charge in and swapped over and could not put his foot down. Ryan Hughes goes down. I don't have any idea what happened. It looked like he was almost crashed before he even made it to the rut.
Is he hooked on the motorcycle? Like he started going into the rut and then came around, and it looked like his visor or something was like caught on his front brake or something.
You and I have been covering motocross for so long. I don't think I've seen anything quite like that before. It almost looked like he crashed before he crashed, and then he couldn't do anything about it. Let's take a look.
All right, little gets down, and he's definitely hooked. Rhino.
I don't mean to laugh, but
we better not laugh because Rhino's one bad dude.
Yeah, but I guarantee you all his buddies and even him when he watches this show will be going, I cannot believe I did that. I've never seen that happen before in racing.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Getting it, probably the chin strap or the mouthpiece of the helmet hooked over.
He just hooked the underneath of the mouth guard, I believe, as we're looking at James Stewart on the final lap. Here in the first 125cc moto at Kenworthy's at Troy, Ohio. Working through lap traffic there. There's a little Bubba Scrub. There's not too many Bubba Scrub jumps out here, but here's how to wheelie.
Rocking the wheelie as he's lapping people, picking ruts and flying along. And, hey, there's a checkered flag for Bubba.